Hi, this is Jeff Kinnard, County Commissioner and Business Owner in Citrus County, and I brought him in today because I wanted to talk to you about what your opinions or thoughts are on leadership in Citrus County and how it's effective with getting us into the future and moving into the future. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on leadership in Citrus County.
It's no secret that Citrus County is at a point that we are ready to take off, that we are going to see tremendous growth. And there are a number of things that are contributing to that. With this growth, we need to have good, solid leaders in place in our elected positions and in the offices of those elected positions as well. I have been very blessed with being in one of those elected positions and have made no secret that I'm actively involved in trying to make sure that we get good quality leaders in these other elected positions as well. So I'm more than happy to be here with you today.
Awesome, thank you. When we look at the future of Citrus County, we know there are a bunch of up and coming young professionals that have invested a lot of time in Citrus County. And I feel, and the reason I chose to run, you and I have had this conversation many times about the ability to just step up and do it. So many people want to help our community. They think about it, and it's taken that next step of actually doing it. And that was very impactful for me to really make that choice, my family and I, to make that choice to run for Citrus County's next property appraiser. It's just an opportunity to really lead our county, like you said, into the future. We're going to see massive growth next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. What's your take on that?
Well, if you look at the different candidates in different races, one of the things that I evaluate is what have they done leadership-wise? Have they put themselves in a position to lead? There are many great ideas out there. There's a lot of bad ideas, but there are many great ideas. People that have good ideas, but have they led? Have they been able to paint the picture for others? This is what we want to accomplish. This is how we're going to accomplish it. And then empower those people to help you accomplish what it is that you're wanting to get done. That is what leaders need to be able to do. You can't do things on your own. You've got to be able to lead a group of people. And you certainly have the background in doing that.
One of the greatest philosophies that I've learned over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years is, leaders get into leadership for two reasons, and one's wrong and one's right. And one is a leader wants the power, or a leader wants to empower its people. And when you empower your people, those are the most successful leaders. I think we've seen that over history and through time. And it's important that when a leader gets into that position, that they empower their people. And I have made a personal goal of mine to learn everything I can about leadership, to involve myself in leadership growth opportunities, because I know that when a leader gets into a position, and I have done this over the last 5 or 6 years as a sergeant with the sheriff's offices, I'm not doing my job unless I'm providing professional growth to those that are under me. And if I can get them into leadership roles, then I'm being successful, which in turn gives back to Citrus County twofold.
Yeah.
And really the greatest opportunity is if you can teach a leader how to be a leader who leads those under them, then it's just that big, huge trickle-down effect. And with my leadership, my educational background, I did Leadership Citrus in 2017 to learn more about the leaders in Citrus County. That is really my biggest vision. Is I know there are 46 amazing employees at the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office, and I want to empower those individuals. I want to see their professional goals, their personal goals being developed. If we're not individually working on those 46 individuals, or if I'm not going to be working on those 46 individuals, then I'm not doing my job as the next elected official in that position. The reason I chose to run for the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office is to be the next leader in our community that can make a difference, not only in the office, but also out in the community. I think it's important for our community to know who their leaders are, to be out in front, be out in community events, be out educating the public what the functions are of the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office and what the property appraiser actually does. One of the Main things that I've learned during this campaign is that a lot of our citizens don't know it's an elected position, and B, they just don't know what the Citrus County Property Appraiser's Office can and does do for them. And that's important that we continue to educate the public on that.
I agree. And you know, Craig, you and I have been talking about leadership in Citrus County for 4 or 5 years now, over several lunches, different conversations that we've had, different books that you were reading. And when you told me that you were considering running for the property appraiser's office or running for the next property appraiser, there was no doubt in my mind that you were the right guy for the job. Knowing your position with the sheriff's office as West Side operations sergeant, West Side, am I operations sergeant? Am I saying it properly? And leading the other officers in the sheriff's office, as well as your background with Sumter County Property Appraiser's Office, having your MBA, there's just credentials there that I believe would make you our next great leader in the county.
You know, I've invested a lot of time over my professional career, starting back with the military, starting with working as a program director for the Boys and Girls Club, working for the Sumter County Property Appraiser, also obtaining my MBA. I've done a lot in my professional life to make sure that I'm ready for this position,
right?
To make sure that I'm available and ready when the opportunity came about. It's important that when I talk to people about what my background is, as far as my administrative management knowledge, skills, and abilities, it's important to know that I do have that MBA. I do have experience in property appraising. My family owned their own property appraiser business for a long time, working for the Sumter County Property Appraiser's Office. And then I worked my way up to that West Operation Sergeant spot. I took on, in my off-duty time, sitting on various boards. I did that so I could get that executive experience running nonprofits and helping with those nonprofits, being plugged in with our community, because it's not always the people that are asking for help that need help. It's the people who aren't asking. And I wanted to make sure that I was making an impactful position in their lives. They're not going to be the ones that are on camera, on magazines, or in newspapers. It's the ones that need the help are going to be staying quiet. I've really spent a lot of my professional growth and time over the last 11 years in Citrus County being innovative with both the nonprofits and in my professional career, because I want there to be growth.
Yes.
I want there to be growth in the office. I want there to be growth in my own personal life, because if I'm growing, they're growing, my employees are growing, and the community is growing. When I'm talking about being creative and innovative, it's what are we going to do in the future that's going to advance that office? Are we going to improve technology? Are we going to improve the employees for promotion? How can we reach our community better? How can we educate the community better? And what ways in our nonprofit foundations can we help our community as well? And all of that inclusive is the reason why I feel like I'm the most qualified as the next property appraiser.
There is no doubt in my mind that you are the right guy for the job. It comes back to leadership. If you look at any one of our constitutional officers, our elected constitutional officers, they don't run that office by themselves. They lead. Ask Angela Vick, ask Susan Gill, ask Janice Warren, ask the sheriff, ask Les Cook. It is all about them being able to lead those who are under their leadership. And yes, we need to have somebody that has your credentials in appraising properties, both in the Sumter County Property Appraiser's Office and in your family's property appraisal business. But we need somebody who has the leadership abilities that you've demonstrated. That's what I was looking for. That's how this conversation started off, was talking about leadership. Look at the sheriff. He doesn't keep the county safe by himself. He provides leadership. Look at Angela Vick. She doesn't run the clerk's office by herself. She does a marvelous job of leading her team. And every time she comes before the county commission, she talks about her team. That's being a leader. Susan Gill has been a wonderful supervisor of elections for us, but she doesn't do it by herself. She's got an amazing team, and she will tell you that. You can go right down the list of all of our constitutionals in the county. It's their ability to lead. That is what you've got. You've demonstrated in your career, and that's what got me so excited about when you said, "Hey, I'm thinking about jumping in this race. What do you think?" I thought, you'll be a great leader. You're the right guy for the job.
I think there's two philosophies that I have going along those lines, and it's you lead people and you manage situations. And there is a huge difference. If you manage people, you're failing. You're not doing your job. You're micromanaging. You're dictating what they're doing. You have to lead people. And what we're dealing with in Citrus County and all across our country with the pandemic, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the next month, the next year, 2 years. This is going to be a gradual walk as we walk into this. So to have the professional leadership skills, the professional management skills to manage situations, that's going to be vital. Those 46 right now, I believe, is who's at the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office. They're professionals in their own right. They don't need to be managed. They need to be led into the future. Our county needs to be led. And that starts with county commissioners and all across the board in any capacity that we do. So that's very important to me.
I couldn't agree more. We've got things functioning very well in that office. They need with Les Cook retiring, they need a leader. They need somebody with your leadership skills, and we need to do that in all of our constitutional officers, or with all of our constitutional officers. Angela Vick, thankfully, was just reelected without opposition. She's a good quality leader. She does a great job running her office, and I believe that you will do a great job as running the property appraiser's office.
I appreciate that. You know, we are seeing a growth in the millennial generation coming into the workforce. We also have the baby boomers aging out of the workforce. To have a leader that knows how to lead and reach, educate, train, and grow different generations of employees is very important. You have to have a background, you have to have a knowledge and a working ability to be able to reach those different generations, Gen X, Gen Y, all the different generations. And it's important to know that I have that experience. I have the experience of working with the different generations and workforces, especially in county and city government. That's totally different than a private sector. It's easy to be confused with being able to slide into that from a private sector into a governmental agency. And I have that experience. I've been in the government. I've worked in county government for 15 plus years. I've led in county government. And then to be able to couple that with the leadership of the different generations, we have to be able to retain those employees. Jeff, you talk about all the time about keeping professional, educated, hardworking individuals in Citrus County. We don't want them to leave.
Right.
We want them to stay. And that's what I'm passionate about. I want to keep all the employees that we have at the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office there, and I don't want them to be trained in our office and then take off and go somewhere else. It's important for me to have them there and then continue to stay with me, because this is not just a one-term plan for me. I want to stay in the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office for 2, 3, 4 terms, as long as Citrus County residents will have me, and I want to stay there for a long period of time.
The residents, the voters, will keep good leaders in office. That is what folks want to see. They want to see stability. They want to see good leaders. You know, I'm sitting here today as one individual. We could have a line of people out the door that would sit right here that have had the opportunity to work with you and say, this guy's a quality leader. He's a guy that we need to have in an elected position. He needs to be involved in helping to steer our county in the right direction as we go through the growth that is coming to our community. You know, those who have worked with you in the sheriff's office, those who have worked with you over on the west side of our county in your law enforcement duties, those who have worked with you in the nonprofits. Like I said, we could have a line of people that would sit right here and say, this guy's a leader, folks. He is the one that we need to put in this seat. So I'm happy to be here, but there could be many, many others.
I appreciate that. And when I first filed back in November, I think it was November 13th to be exact, this had nothing to do with me. And it still doesn't to this day. It has everything to do with the people of Citrus County. I wanted to run for this office for the people of Citrus County, for the employees. I've been very blessed to be mentored by gentlemen like yourself and many others in the community, and I just cannot be happier with where I'm at in my life, and professional life and personal life. and I'm going to be blessed to serve Citrus County for as long as they'll have me, and I'm really excited about that.
Very good. Well, I am as well. I look forward to voting for you, and I'm going to do everything I can to tell everybody that I know that you're the right guy for the job, and they too should vote for you.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, Jeff.
You got it.